No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. Views and opinions expressed by the host and not for those of the host. Discretion is advised. Welcome to the Smackin' It Raw podcast, the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub. This is episode 247. I am your host. Seven. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter, the patron saint of podcasting, and I am here for this episode with my Pornhub poppies, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, the shaman of She-Leet and host of the She-Leet Showcase, Inside the Mind of and in the Crowd, and the man who loves speaking out of turn, host of the Straight Talk podcast, back again. So now the rankings are 15-14 instead of 14-13, securing his 1-point lead. He is Daddy Delgado, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow, and my friend, SES Vince.
I think that was friend? I think that's the that's a true point. Here's
the thing. Point. You are my friend, but some people need to hear it to feel special.
Fair.
Hey Matt, how's it going?
Good, Vince. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be back on this week. I took last week off last minute just because it was the weekend right before my birthday, and I wanted to get a bunch of stuff done, like chores and stuff. So I decided to just take the week off, and it worked out great because you guys had clean PR. The episode was fantastic. I think it would have ran a little bit too long if I was on it, so I think it's okay. Sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder, so sometimes I need to miss a week or two so you guys can miss me on the show.
And happy fucking birthday to you, bro. You're a whole nother trip around the sun.
Yeah, whole trip around the sun.
A little gray there in that goatee.
More like a blondish. There's more gray on the top hat. That's why I'm wearing the hat, to cover the grayness. I still got the birthday decorations. Some of the birthday decorations up there. The floor is littered with balloons, piñatas, and streamers and everything. So
did you get cake for your birthday?
I got 3 different kind of cakes.
Oh, really? And Melissa was okay with that?
Well, that was one of the cake.
So you got 2 cakes and that, or did you get 4 cakes now?
No. Total 3 cakes. The birthday cake that my mom made, the birthday cake that she bought me, and then her. So that's 3 cakes right there.
And the birthday cake that you ate in your birthday suit.
All the same cake.
Oh, wait, it's all your mom. Wait, hold on.
There's
you realize what you just said, because you just said that it's all the same cake, which implies that the cake that your mom made,
the last one,
and the cake that Melissa made is the cake that you ate in your birthday suit.
Well, the cake that Melissa gave me was a Portillo's cake, and then my mom made a chocolate cake in the shape of a Bulls jersey that had my name and plus the number 30 on it. So
you don't strike me as a chocolate cake kind of guy.
Really? I'm all about chocolate. It's either chocolate or tres leches. And
see, tres leches, I believe that I can see.
Yeah,
you definitely strike me as a tres leches cake kind of guy. Chocolate cake, no.
But see, here's the thing: you can't. Not everyone's into tres leches, so I wanted to be a gracious host, I guess, in the sense, and be okay, well, not everyone likes tres leches. A good amount of people like chocolate, so it's a safer bet for people to like chocolate versus tres leches. My own girlfriend doesn't like tres leches, so she's got to have some of the cake.
Yeah, see, I'm a cake connoisseur. I like all flavors,
except fruit filling. I'm not a fan of fruit filling. I don't like fruit filling cakes.
Not even during Pride Month.
I mean, I'll eat around the fruit, but I'm not gonna eat the fruit.
Katie is just dying up there. All right,
up there, she's down here.
let's talk about what we're here to talk about. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about every week, we have those Pro Wrestling Pro Choice t-shirts up on both the Teespring store for Creation World and the Teespring store for the She Leads Showcase. Proceeds for She Leads Showcase, all profits will be going to Planned Parenthood, and over on our side, if you buy a shirt from us, they're going to Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project. So please go get those and support a good cause. The design is dope, drawn by Jizzy, formerly of the Deadass Girls, or the now defunct Deadass Girls. But we love Jizzy and we love her design. It's really fucking cool. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It is my pin tweet at Matt Ritter. That is that METTRIDDER on Twitter. Also, Young Kings Wrestling still, and for the foreseeable future, may always be selling those badass NWO style Black Lives Matter t-shirts that you can get at YKWrestling.com. Also, you can check out YK Wrestling on Twitter and find their pin tweet, and that'll take you there. So go do that, because all the proceeds there are donated to families who have lost loved ones from police brutality, or have been affected by racial injustice, and TC puts all of that money into a fund, and then he himself goes and looks specifically for the GoFundMe's directly for those families and gives it to them. They are in no way, shape, or form associated with the Black Lives Matter organization, but do, however, support the idea that Black Lives Matter and the movement behind it. As you guys know, if you listened to last week, the show's going to be a little different going forward. I explained to Katie and Vince how it's going to go. I'm not going to run all of that down for you guys. Just listen, and I'm sure you'll figure it out, because if you're listening to the show, you're clearly fucking smart.
True cheers.
However, there are a couple things I did not tell Katie and Vince, because I want to save for the recording. First and foremost, when we are doing our swallows, if you decide to say something along the lines of, oh, I don't know, I want to swallow the NBA game that was on tonight, we will be skipping your turn, and it will move on to the next person. Your turn will be forfeit. And if it becomes a flagrant thing that happens, I will start muting you. That also goes for Star Wars, Better Call Saul, Marvel, anything outside of wrestling that you decide you want to swallow when we're talking about wrestling. You will forfeit your turn. We will move on to the next person. And if you keep doing it because you think it's fucking funny, I will mute you, or possibly move you to, the waiting room.
It sounds very tailor specific to certain people on the show, and I
don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like that
it's almost
means
like certain people always try and derail it. Weird.
Or just want to expand the horizon of the conversation.
And there are other podcasts. There's a great podcast called Straight Talk Podcast, where you guys can go and listen and hear all about the Bulls, the NBA, March Madness, brackets, all things baskets and balls.
Baskets and balls.
So if you enjoy that,
a sabbatical at the moment. Straight Talk's on a sabbatical.
Clearly. But if you enjoy that, you guys can go there and check that out. Also, Get Your Podcast. They'll fill you in on sneakers, basketballs, all sorts of stuff. Plenty of other places to go. However, I felt like giving those people a fair warning, so it is not a surprise and a question when it gets happened. They know it's coming.
I think it would have been fun if we didn't knew it was happening, and then after it happens the first time, like, by the way, this is why it happened.
Or because I know my co-host, I figure I give him a heads up and allow him to see how many times he can push the line before he gets booted.
Do you think we'll ever have an episode where one of us actually gets kicked off from the call? Like, forget about it.
No, I'll put you in the waiting room, and then you're just stuck there till I decide to bring you back. I'd never kick you off the call. You'd have to say something really fucked up for me to kick you off the call. And if you said something so fucked up that I kicked you out of the entire show, you would not be returning on the next episode.
I feel like there's one thing that borders the line that one could say that might warrant getting kicked off the entire call.
If you think it has to do with that little bitch, then no, you can say whatever you want. You'll still get sent to the waiting room.
Okay. All right. That was what I was going to say.
The whole point of this whole new thing that we're doing, though, is to make this more like a conversation, but still giving you guys all the same beats of the Smackin' It Raw podcast. But also, if Mr. Warren Hayes comes on and he didn't feel like watching WWE or whatever, but he watched New Japan, then he can give me spits and swallows from New Japan. Or if Powerbomb Jutsu comes on and they want to talk about Impact, they can do that as long as it is wrestling related. GCW, MLW, that fake shit over in Japan. Like whatever you guys want to talk about, you guys can talk about on the show as your personal spits or swallows, as long as it is wrestling related, Vince.
What if I want to talk about an episode of Camp WWE that I watched?
Yeah, it's fine. It's wrestling related.
Okay, cool.
So that you can make that one of your swallows. Hey, I watched Camp WWE and that episode where John Cena, you know,
he was rapping about like gangster rap and getting bitches and hoes and getting drugs and money, I think was the preface of his song.
I was gonna say he stuck a marshmallow stick up his ass, but either way, yeah, same shit. All right, so news and rumors. That we really only have two things. First and foremost, the best of the Super Dupers has concluded, and your winner, ladies and gentlemen, her moo takes some kashi.
Take some kashi.
Yeah, her moo takes some kashi. Pretty sure that's his name.
Close.
Nailed it.
Close.
No, I'm pretty sure I got
almost
that.
nailed it. You almost
Right
nailed
on the money.
it. Almost nailed it.
No, I'm
you
pretty sure I
almost
got
nailed
it. Yeah, so congratulations to her moo take some kashi. We are happy for you. You are super duper, my friend. You are the best of the super dupers. And then obviously Cody Rhodes had a successful surgery. Brandy let us know his titty is healing fantastically, so good for him. Wonder how much bigger they're going to be when they come back. Thinking like double D's, triple D's, like what do we get here?
It's not gonna be triple D.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, it would be a solid C at most. He's not gonna go up higher than that.
That's fair. Nothing, Vince. You got nothing about Cody's titties?
Well, I want to. Well,
you want to save it for the spits and swallows?
Yes, because that's one of my spits or swallows.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm swallowing Cody Rhodes like bruised up titty.
Well, yeah.
He still says it anyway. It doesn't even wait.
There's more to elaborate.
There's plenty more to elaborate, and we can talk about that. So, since Vince wanted to jump ahead and say that, Katie, it is Pride Month, and as always, ladies first. Would you like to start with spits or swallows?
I feel like I have more swallows, so we can start there, I guess.
Okay. What's your first swallow from this week?
Carmelo Hayes winning back the North American Championship at In Your House.
That was a damn good match.
Melo don't miss, baby. A-Champ is back. We're gonna get Melo and Solo. I'm very fucking excited. The match was great. Carmelo Hayes. That's your star right there. It ain't Braun Breaker.
Once we do get Solo versus Melo, who are you rooting for then?
See, Savannah asked me that same bullshit question, and I don't want to answer because I like them both.
So it was a great match. It really was. I, however, am spitting the fact that Carmelo won the North American title because I wanted to personally see him move on to the NXT Championship. I would have much rather seen that because now I don't know where we go with the NXT Championship. And I kind of feel like he's kind of surpassed it. It would have been great to have him move on. Cameron Grimes, Solo's got next. Let Solo beat him and do it because now I don't see Solo beating him this quick after just getting the title back to be champion. I want to see Solo being champion. On top of that,
I think so.
When we got to fucking Wednesday, we got Melo making terrible decisions like making friends with Grayson Waller and hanging out with Grayson Waller and
number one,
declining a lucrative opportunity from the Don of NXT where he could have, like Vince, like Legado, joined the D'Angelo family, come to the side of light and join the D'Angelo family. He turned that shit down. It's going to bite him in the ass. It always does. So yeah, no, I'm actually going to spit Carmelo Hayes.
That's fair. That is a fair assumption because it does make you think, well, something else later that I'll talk about. Someone came back to NXT,
right?
Possibly to challenge Braun, but then was also in a match later, so then it's all over the damn place. They're not clear about where the next step is for certain people.
Yeah, and well, go ahead, Vince. You want to jump in on this
think,
before we cover everything?
Yeah, because I think my whole situation is like I think it's perfectly plausible to have Carmelo Hayes drop the title to Solo Sikoa, like not necessarily within the next month or so, but like be the next guy that he drops it to, uh, because let me too, because then you get Solo Sikoa versus Carmelo Hayes, and yeah, Cameron Grimes versus Solo. Solo had next, but at least this way we get Solo versus Melo, and which. Melissa says she loves you too.
We love you too.
There you go. There's love all around, and I love this. I love the matchup between Melo and Solo Sikoa. I just wanted to see the match. That's why I'm okay with Melo winning the championship, because I just wanted to see that match for the title. I'd rather have Solo take the title off of Melo than taking it off of Cameron Grimes.
I don't see him taking the title off Melo if Melo just won it back.
I honestly do. He might not get it the first go round, but Dolph Ziggler had the title for like a cup of tea and then dropped it right back to Braun.
But he wasn't really part of NXT.
Which is
Ziggler
fair.
Came back for like a month,
which is fair. But then also, we just saw a Toxic Attraction drop the women's tag titles and then within a week regain the tag titles. So like there's precedent with NXT 2.0 to have titles like flip almost right away. Pretty Deadly only held the titles for like what, less than 2 months, like maybe a month and a half, maybe a full month if that, and then they dropped it to the Creeds. So I think it's perfectly plausible for them to wait until like SummerSlam time, and that's when Solo finally gets the title. You could always do shenanigans with Melo.
Again, I feel like Pretty Deadly just stepped in for Matt's shitty kids because one of them decided to dress up like Hitler and got fired. Now the other one's an orphan. So the fact that they stepped in to fill that role, I feel like the Creeds were winning those titles anyway. It was supposed to be off MSK. Now it's not off MSK. Pretty Deadly filled that role. But since we're on this whole subject of Solo and Melo and all that, one thing I am swallowing from that whole thing was their interaction on Wednesday too, because you had Solo come out, tell Melo he's got next. Melo's like that's everything I really wanted. I was hoping Solo was going to move on and go face Braun, because fucking Melo's like, no, I'm the champ. Whatever deal you have with Grimes, out the door, back of the line, get the fuck out of here, not doing it. Instead, he teamed up with Grayson Waller, which again, big spit, but they dropped Solo, and Solo was a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Solo came out and he was like, listen, I'll take them both on tonight. I don't care if I have a tag team partner. If someone wants to join me, cool. I don't give a fuck. Give me both those bitches.
Right.
It's a threesome and I'm going raw dog. Like, he was all about it. And I'm sure we'll talk about it, but he did have a tag team partner in that match.
Okay. So I'm going to elaborate on that too, and then just give a little bit of a spit and a little bit of swallow. I'm going to swallow the fact that Apollo Crews turned out to be that opponent, and he's back in NXT. But I am going to spit the fact that it just seems like a random Apollo Crews face turn, and then he dropped the accent altogether. And it just kind of seemed like he was back to like generic Apollo. Like, nothing against what he did, because like I love the match. I thought like him versus Braun, that's a matchup that I'm actually intrigued with seeing, and it could be a matchup that helps enhance Braun Breaker a little bit longer in NXT. Gives him another credible opponent. I don't think Apollo might be the one to take the title off of Braun Breaker, but it's either him or it's going to be Carmelo. Or you can get Carmelo versus Apollo for the North American title. Maybe that's where they're going, and maybe they really are going to go Solo versus Braun. You never know.
So that's your swallow, because I was going to go to you next. So your swallow, and you got a swallow and a spit for Apollo.
I'm gonna swallow him being back in the NXT, but I'm spitting the sudden, like unexplained face turn and the dropping of the accent.
I'm with you on that. I feel the same way. I will say I did like Apollo coming out and facing off with Braun. That was a swallow for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Apollo got moved up to main roster too fucking fast his first time in NXT. Like, he's even admitted it. Like, it was on that Breaking Ground show that was on the network a few years ago. Him being back will be good for him, because he got moved up. He wasn't really doing anything. He won the IC title, so that was awesome. But then he wasn't doing anything again. So bringing him back down, which, like, again, I don't even really see like NXT as like moving down, but having him back in NXT is going to be good because he's fantastic in the ring and he can go. So him being there with these guys is just going to help elevate everyone else. So
I'm with you on that. My first official swallow of the night has got to be probably the biggest swallow of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Legado del Fantasma, as I mentioned, is part of the D'Angelo family. Tony D and the boys got the win in the opening match at In Your House. Now, I'm swallowing the fact that Tony won. I'm swallowing the fact that he is properly utilizing his manpower by immediately putting Santos Escobar in a match on NXT. However, I am going to be spitting two things. One, the biased ass fucked up NXT crowd that was booing my boy Tony, because I don't know what the fuck that was about. Legado's entrance is fantastic. I'll give them that, but they're not
what
Tony
entrance?
D.
They didn't get a fucking entrance. They
No. Santo, you didn't watch In Your House because I spoiled
I
it.
thought you were talking about NXT. Yeah,
Legado, when they were still Legado before they got absorbed into the family, they had a great entrance. NXT, listen, there's a star of the show and it's Tony, and everyone else is just a foot soldier. And now Santos is in line. I'm also swallowing the fact that I did not see Elektra Lopez in the graphic with them.
Yeah,
spitting. The fact that I did not see her there, because I need me some Elektra. I was hoping kind of to get Elektra and Bianca Corelli in like a feud with Bianca joining the family, because she is Santino's daughter, the Milan Miracle. She's Italian. It would make sense.
Yeah.
I thought like Fabian Eichner, after he wasn't called up with the rest of Imperium, would have been the perfect person to pair up with Tony D'Angelo and the family. But
he debuts next week.
How does it feel to be, officially Italian now, Vince, now that we've absorbed you into our family?
I feel like being conquered by the Spaniards all over again. That's what it feels like. I feel like I got conquered all over again. No, that's your swallow, but I'm spitting the fact that Legado got screwed and Tony just like basically doing the PowerPoint Drew Gulak shtick on commentary. It's like, I ain't tell you to do that. Don't do that flippy shit. Don't do no high flying. Everything that was cool, anything like Lucha Libre style esque stuff. Tony D was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop doing that.
What you're saying is, for the majority of the time they've been on NXT, Legado's been taking L's, including to Tony, and now that Tony is trying to coach him and make him a better wrestler.
I'm not going to go into this with you, Matthew. We're going to have to agree to disagree here. But I will say that this does feel to me, especially after watching NXT and the interactions between the former Legado and Tony D and the crew, is that it feels like this is going to be a slow burn babyface turn for the entirety of Legado, which at one point they will break away and be their own thing again. So I think that's what's happening, especially when you had the spot where Double Dime or like Double D or Two-Face or whatever tossed the crowbar, and Santos refused to use the crowbar, and it cost him the victory. I think
He's racist. He's never had an issue taking brass knucks or anything from anybody from his own people, but when an Italian man tosses him a crowbar to help him do what he is very good at doing, then he says, no, I ain't touching that shit.
You don't know where that crowbar's been.
It was in his face on Sunday or Saturday.
For all we know, over the course of the weekend and that yacht party they had, that crowbar could have been in a bunch of different places. Maybe Santos knew exactly what they were doing with that crowbar, and he wanted nothing to do with it. For sanitary reasons.
At the very least, you could have given it the sniff test just to make sure it was okay. They could have cleaned it. I am also going to spit the fact that your boy Santos embarrassed the family and lost to Nathan Frazier.
Swallow match though. The match was good.
Oh, the match was fantastic.
Awesome.
Can I swallow Nathan Frazier's theme song? Like every time I hear it, I love it that much more. It sounds like a very early 2000s like alternative rock song, and I just love it. Just love it. Like feels like it should be on Guitar Hero.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to add to the Legado Santos Frazier discussion?
Other than Team Tony, no.
All right. What's your next swallow, Katie?
The Creeds, specifically Julius Creed, hitting that goddamn shooting star press out of nowhere, and it was flawless.
Mhm.
Incredible. And they won, which like I like it more so because their family was right there, and like he didn't use the belt, and he was like, you know what, no, fuck that, and then they still win. We love to see it, but Roddy's a little bitch, so I'm spinning Roddy on Wednesday. That's why he's not a leader. Like, you're gonna complain, you're basically just gaslighting them the whole time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck Roderick Strong. Love the Creeds, swallowing the Creeds, winning the match.
Basically swallowing all of Diamond Mine except Roddy at this point.
Basically.
Well, I'm with you. New tag team champs, that shooting star press where he did not end up like Brock Lesnar on the side of his face. Good for him. Also, being cool with Idris and Malik on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, you guys want a title shot? Absolutely. Like, let's do this. Like, making friends, doing the right thing, being good people. And then, of course, as you said, that fucking douchebag Roddy being a dick, taking back his congrats to the Creeds because they offered somebody a title shot, being like, oh, we don't just give out title shots around here, that you got to go make them. Like, fuck you, Roddy.
Like,
I swear, Roddy's trying to MJF his way out of NXT 2.0 and into AEW. I think that's his gimmick. He's trying to like.
No, he just doesn't know how to be a part of a group.
Oh yeah, no, this is 100% going to lead to the breakdown of Diamond Mine and Roddy and Damon Kemp versus the Creeds for the tag titles.
I think they should keep Damon Kemp or whatever. Like, he could be like a guy they like help like groom, like, and take under the wing. Ivy Nile should be the leader now, and then the Creeds should be like the older brothers, like Katie was saying before. I love that reference. They what I forget. I know you just said his name, but like the other dude, the dude that Roddy brought in, the
Damon
dude
Kemp.
Damon Kemp. Gonna call him DK. DK. All right. So DK can be kind of like the prodigy guy that they bring up or whatever, like kind of like the little brother that isn't ready for like the main event, but like they're getting showed the ropes, you know. Maybe he's one of those guys that actually
deep into this.
maybe he's one of those guys that's actually is able to keep up with the Ivy Now like training regiment that so many guys just like floundered in. So, you know, I mean, there might be something there. It might be like a thing where like, yeah, we didn't include you, we didn't induct you into Diamond Mine, but we're embracing you because Roddy's a piece of shit, and we'd rather have you here than you be stuck with Roddy, you know?
Maybe when it's all said and done, but for this to work, Roddy needs a tag team partner, and he went and recruited Damon Kemp. They didn't agree to it. They didn't ask for this motherfucker to join the group. Roddy didn't say, hey, let's have a team meeting. He's just like, oh, I got somebody, and he's here, and we're going to go out, and we're going to have tag team matches, and we're going to hang out, and he's my new best friend, and you guys suck. That's basically what he said.
Familiar.
Yeah, that's basically
Been
what he
there.
said. Yeah. I'm sorry, Katie. That's sad.
Oh my god.
Not in that context. If you think about it hard enough, you'll know.
Yeah, no, I know. Vince,
Yes.
what's your next swallow there, sunshine? What you putting in your mouth?
I must swallow Cody Rhodes. Like, I want to swallow him putting on like probably one of the best matches of the week at Hell in a Cell along with Seth Rollins. The Hell in a Cell main event was fantastic. Obviously, it takes two to tango, but him wrestling with that horrific looking bruise on his like right titty, you know, props to him. Then he dropped a really good promo on Monday, and I just want to swallow Cody because honestly, like since his return,
Say that again.
I just want to swallow Cody all over again. Wait, what? Wait, what is it that I said that you want me to repeat? I'll repeat it.
No, we're good, Brandy. Keep going.
No, but yeah, I've liked what he's done ever since his return to WWE, and I just want to give him props. So swallowing Cody Rhodes all around, and swallowing Kevin Owens because that man's a gem. What?
All right, so you know how there's that stupid being the elite thing with the Tiny Hands and Reynolds rap where they're like, adrenaline in my soul, something, something, Cody Rhodes.
Cody
I was like, the Vince version is adrenaline in my soul. I just want to swallow Cody Rhodes. That went through my head. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, swallowing.
I did write a whole song, a whole like remix to that where it was about Cody Rhodes approaching a glory hole. So I did that at one point.
I beg your pardon. What?
There's something along the lines of adrenaline in my soul as I approach this glory hole.
Why are you fucking like this?
As I stick my dick through the glory hole.
Oh no, it was about Cody, and this was before I had become a fan of Cody, so he was going up there for the hole, not to be
Not to be in the hole.
Yeah, no, he was not sticking.
So he was receiving the American Nightmare, not giving.
That is correct.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe roles are reversed now.
I'm with you, Vince. The Hell in a Cell match was insane. When that reveal, when he took his jacket off, literally everyone in my house, and my wife hasn't really been into wrestling, but when she saw that, like everyone was like, oh my God, cringing. It had you on the edge of your seat with every kendo stick shot to the fucking bruise, everything. The fact that he powered through with the muscle completely torn off the pack and was still doing the stuff he did. They put on a killer match. Seth Rollins with the Dusty references, the gear and all of that. Oh my fucking God, is he amazing?
He's a fantastic troll.
He's a menace.
He's a menace to society.
A lot of people said, oh, I wish I could have seen what the Hell in a Cell would have been if Cody wasn't hurt. But the fact that Cody was hurt and everything that they did in this
made it better.
Is why it's probably made it better. It's going to go down as one of the better Hells in the Cell in the last decade.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go.
Go. I was agreeing.
Okay.
Go. Just go.
I was just going to say, and then what Vince said about, that speech that he did on Monday and Seth coming out and us getting a genuine moment between the two after all of that, but then Seth still being Seth and getting the sledgehammer and writing Cody off TV for the next 4 weeks to 9 months, depending on who you ask. Because if you ask Cody, he's back for Money in the Bank.
My God, sir, you're not Cena, and Cena was even pushing it to do what he did in that short time. Just take the time and relax. Come back at SummerSlam. A little better, gives you a little longer time, bigger pop. I just don't want I want him to be fully healed. Because the worst part is coming back early when you're still injured and then fucking it up worse.
For sure. I don't think he'll come. I think SummerSlam is still too soon, in my opinion, but I could be wrong here. I think the perfect time is to have him come back at the Rumble. But then again, that's just like the easiest answer to give. It's just like that'd be like maybe 7 months, which would put him like around, like if he's already ready to return, maybe he even returns like the month before a Royal Rumble, and he builds up saying he's gonna win the Royal Rumble, and then you set that up as one of the big names to win the Rumble, like kind of like what they've did with Drew in previous years. Or they could just do the surprise return like they did with Cena and Edge. I think either of those is a good option for.
He wrestled a damn good match with one titty. I feel like he could just come back tomorrow if he wanted to. Like, it'll be fine.
But like you could just see, like that man had tears in his eyes at the end. I felt horrible.
So I do have a question for Cody, and now this is not a spit.
You have a question for Cody. Cody, if you were listening, pay attention.
Yes. Was your nipple numb while your like pec was torn? Like I want to know the status of the nipple. Like what happened?
Well, why are you so concerned with the nipple?
Well, hold on, Vince. You do realize that your nerve endings and your muscle are two separate parts of your body, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, no. So the muscle is the muscle, and then there are nerve endings, and that's where you get the feeling of pain and things like that inside that are stimulated. So they're not necessarily the muscle.
Did the torn pectoral muscle extend to the nipple? Was the nipple also bruised?
I'm pretty sure that your pectoral muscle is not attached to your nipple. Your nipple is a part of your skin. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, if a woman pinches underneath the bottom of her boob, there are no nerve endings there, so she can't feel it.
I'll remember to try that on Melissa later.
Under boob. Yep.
There you go. Pinching the
Most
boob
of
tonight.
women's nerve endings in their breast are focused around the nipple itself. There are none in the under boob. So if you pinch the under boob, nothing.
Good to know.
I'm gonna put that theory to the.
You can try that after
put
the
that
show.
Austin theory to the test. Yes.
All right, my next swallow, Becky versus Asuka versus Bianca. Even though it wasn't in Hell in a Cell, it was a damn good fucking match. And on top of that, now we're gonna get Rhea versus Bianca because we had that triple threat on Raw, or the Fatal 4-Way on Raw. Yeah, 4-way. And during that, we got a little cohesion from Alexa Bliss and Liv, which is something I've been championing for as them being a tag team in that Fatal 4-Way. That I think would still work and would be fantastic, and they should probably do, because you're gonna need tag teams for these titles that you know forcibly vacated from the champions and then rudely put on a suspension because you know they didn't like your bullshit ideas.
Still waiting for that tournament, by the way. I think
they
they
said-
forgot about it.
They said in the future, so I wouldn't expect it anytime soon.
Okay, 2024. Got it.
Yeah. But now's the time to build the tag division. You've got a great singles card with 4 top women right there in Rhea, Bianca, Becky, and Asuka, where you can have feuds on and off, rotating between them for the title and without the title. And then everyone else you can start building into tag teams to build that tag team division back up. So that's what I would do. But yeah, no, dude, they killed it. Outside of like the spectacle of Hell in a Cell that was Cody Rhodes and his titty, that was probably best match of the night.
True.
It was the best way to start the show. And
Yes.
I said it, they basically proved why they didn't need a cell. Because everyone was like, there's only one Hell in a Cell match on a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is kind of stupid, which like I agree, you probably should have had another one.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that people were complaining that this match wasn't in Hell in a Cell, and then the 3 of them just said, okay, well, here's the best match we can give you, which was fantastic, best way to start the show in general.
Right.
Could like, I think this was my favorite match of the night because the women did so well. So like, I loved the match. I just hate the fact that people were complaining, but it's the WWC, so they're always going to complain about something.
And that's the asinine thing is like, all right, so for years, everyone's been like, Hell in a Cell shouldn't be a pay-per-view. You should build feuds that belong in Hell in a Cell. And you shouldn't just put matches in Hell in a Cell because it's a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So then they build a feud that belongs in Hell in a Cell and they put it in Hell in a Cell. And they're like, where are the rest of my Hell in a Cell matches? Why aren't we getting?
Exactly.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I was gonna elaborate on the same thing. It's like, it's funny how like everyone complains about there's too many Hell in a Cell matches. I think last year there was like 3 Hell in a Cell matches. I think one year we had maybe almost 4, whatever. Like so many didn't belong in Hell in a Cell. Yeah, you can argue that the women's triple threat match should have been the Hell in a Cell match, but it didn't need it. Like Katie said, like Matt said, like we've all said, it didn't need it. It would have been nice. It would have been a cool little thing, like wrinkle to like add to the match, but it didn't need it. If any match on the entire card deserved that Hell in a Cell match and warranted, was Seth versus Cody. And I'm perfectly okay with there just being one Hell in a Cell match. Honestly.
Get rid of the pay-per-view.
Yes, get rid of the pay-per-view, but yeah, like they've done pay-per-views like that was just the one Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. Along with that, seeing as we talked about that, Becky also had an opening match against Dana Brooke.
Swallowing that
after losing. No, I'm spitting that because they put Becky in 24/7 BS, and that is fucking terrible.
I'm swallowing the fact that Dana beat Becky. Yeah, I'm swallowing the fact that Dana beat Becky Lynch because I haven't been feeling Becky Lynch ever since she was been doing this whole big time Bex thing. Like,
Have you ever felt Becky Lynch?
Not physically, not in the literal sense, but I don't know, man. Like ever since she came back at SummerSlam and beat Bianca so quickly, I was never really behind Becky. Like something just fell off. Like it wasn't the same for me. And honestly, I just quite don't care about Becky. She's on that threshold down in that same genre area where Ronda and Charlotte occupy for me, where they're on my screen. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying I just don't care.
No, Ronda's bad, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, but I don't care about what Charlotte does. I don't care about what Ronda does. I don't care about what Becky does at the moment. The only thing that I was watching with Becky was when she was doing Bianca stuff with Bianca, and that's solely only because I wanted Bianca to take the title off of her. After that, I haven't cared one lick about what Becky Lynch is doing, and I thought it was funny that Dana Brooke beat her. So that's a swallow on my book.
Because Asuka helped her.
Yeah.
Also, unpopular opinion maybe, but I don't like the Cody Rhodes Seth match was great at Hell in a Cell. We've had this singles women's match, and I don't want to go back, but I don't really need the women in Hell in a Cell. I don't really need anyone in Hell in a Cell unless we're getting outside of the cell, going on top of it, someone's going off it or going through it. It has been far too long since we've attempted murder, and I'd like to see that again. And if you're not going to make it special and attempt murder outside of, what Seth did to the Fiend, which was fucking terrible, because that was just garbage. But like real, like Undertaker, Mankind, Shawn Michaels, like stuff like that. Like that's what made it special. Undertaker versus Edge. Like you did some cool things in those matches. I like to see them get outside of the cell, get on top of the cell, go all over the place, and people almost die. So let's more of that. Because when was the last time we saw that? Shane? Versus Taker?
Yeah. Actually, it was WrestleMania 32. Shane versus Undertaker when Shane basically died
5 years ago.
Jesus. Jeez. Okay. Well, damn.
No. Or was it the Sammy KO one? Because didn't that happen too? Where Sammy saved KO from Shane?
Yes. And then
so then that one would have been.
Yeah, that probably would have been sooner.
Yeah.
Katie, next swallow.
You brought her up already. Rhea fucking Ripley. Oh my god. This woman is incredible. She wore like trunks and I have never been the same since. Like, I'm so glad her gear is missing. Keep it. Whoever has it, keep it. If it got lost, it's lost forever. I don't even care. I got that. I was very excited. She won the Fatal 4-Way. I get to see Bianca and Rhea for the title in person.
Hopefully they're both in shorts.
My damn mind. I hope they're both. Personal bias. But regardless, that match is going to be incredible, and I cannot wait to see it. And just Rhea's... this is what we've been saying. Like, if you want someone to take the title off of Bianca, it's got to be Rhea. Mm-hmm. At least I've been saying. I don't know if anyone else has, but, like, if you build up Rhea well enough, like you have since you turned her heel and had her turn on Liv and the Judgment Day stuff, then this is the way to do it. This is the way.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So you're swallowing Rhea, and I'm with you. I'm swallowing her winning the Fatal 4-Way. Real quick spit was lately Dewdrop's been in tights, and I'm hoping that's not a WWE Keith Lee wears a shirt sort of decision. Yeah, because fuck you guys for making her cover herself for whatever fucked up shit you have. I'm not saying it is. Maybe if it was her choice, that's cool. But she's always been comfortable being herself before, and all of a sudden now she's all covered up, and that bothered me. But outside of that, Rhea winning the match, and then, like you said, Judgment Day. Judgment Day, getting the win at Hell in a Cell, which was great.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
Fun. Their matching gear, the entrance, all of it. Because even like you said, she lost her fucking gear. She had to makeshift some gear and still made it match Damian and Edge's gear, who had matching tights.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure her gear was her gear on Monday. I don't think that was, it might have been thrown together, but it felt a little more, there was a little bit more leather and clasp in it. So maybe
she went to like a sex shop or whatever and just
BDSM store?
Yeah, BDMS. Yeah, there you go.
BDMS.
BDMS. BBMS.
BBMS?
You're-
Can you tell me what
BBMS.
Can you tell me what these things stand for?
No. I'm just throwing out random letters and make them
Oh.
sound make them sound.
I'm
like
wondering
that.
if the positive reinforcement she got from the shorts on Sunday led her to continuing with shorts on Monday. You guys want to save what happened with Judgment Day for later, or do you just want to talk about it now while we're talking about Rhea?
We can talk about it because I mean, I like to add to what Katie was saying. I'm swallowing the fact that we're gonna get Rhea versus Bianca like round, however many. I think it's either round 2 or round 3 at least. If you count their NXT show matchups,
3, I think,
because
then.
yeah. I'm excited for that. This is the first women's match that I'm excited to see since like Bianca versus Becky at Mania, because I don't think Bianca did anything that I cared about at WrestleMania Backlash, and she didn't defend it. The pay-per-view on Hell in a Cell. Wait, I'm confused. Point is that I'm excited to see Rhea versus Bianca, and like you alluded to it, I'm gonna swallow the fact that Finn Balor joined the Judgment Day, but I'm gargling how like Edge getting kicked out, but I am spitting Edge getting kicked out of Judgment Day, but them still keeping the nameplate, like his logo on the nameplate and the theme song. So it's still like the Edge theme song. So like it's a melting pot of feelings and emotions and actions.
I need you to stop for a second. Literally, they won on Sunday.
Yes.
And then on Monday, Edge came out with his group.
Yes.
With their nameplate and with their music.
Yes.
And then they brought out Finn Balor, and Finn Balor did his entire so I talked to Rhea and I talked to Damon, and I found out we got a lot in common. One of those things is fuck old men, and then they beat up Edge and they kicked Edge out.
Yeah, and then later on in the main event, when Rhea came out for her match, her nameplate had the Edge logo on it.
If they literally earlier in the night just did this, then how would you logically have time to get them brand new theme music and a
Literally.
brand new nameplate?
Well,
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
they could have just
some
played.
people complaining about
Wait
that.
till next week.
They could have played Rhea's theme song. I don't know. I'm just
The theme song
spitting
is
that.
the
She
theme
has-
song is her mix.
No,
It's
no.
her Judgment Day mix with the This Is My
Yeah.
Brutality.
After Rhea won, Finn and Damian Priest came out with Edge's theme song, and even the little soundbite that says, "You think you know me? You never did." Ha ha ha! And then like it plays like the riff of the song,
Again,
and then they came out.
they just kicked him out an hour
Well, at least
beforehand.
They're still Judgment Day.
They are still Judgment Day.
I'm pretty sure they can cut off the Edge soundbite, the voiceover, and
Or
then just,
keep it despite him.
No, I think that's weird.
I'm sure they will going forward,
Like-
but seeing as it just happened and all they have is one theme song for Judgment Day,
It's
and
my
they're
spit
still-
about the whole thing. I'm just saying that's my.
Are you sure
spit.
you're spitting it? Because you said you were swallowing something and you were gargling something and then you were
okay.
spitting something. It was very confusing.
I will elaborate. I'm swallowing
Please.
Finn joining,
You're swallowing
I'm-
Finn.
gargling Edge getting kicked out so soon without them building a story to it, and I'm spitting the fact that they use Edge's logo and voiceover in the theme song. So the whole trifecta of things.
I'm swallowing everything that happened. I know it's a very divisive subject. People have talked about it and
I don't
said,
care enough about it. I just want to
they wanted to turn Edge babyface because Cody's out. They need more top stars. B, that Edge did not want to be involved in a more supernatural version of the Judgment Day, which is where they wanted to go. Me personally, super fucking excited for that. That is right up my alley. That's exactly what they should have been doing. And I think that's why up until now, Judgment Day has felt a little off, is because they haven't been leaning into that. And that's where we all thought it was going.
right.
With the throne and the music and the feel and the look. So if you can give me some of the beats that we got with The Undertaker, some of the beats that we got with Kane, some of the beats that we got with the Demon Finn Balor, the Fiend, all of these
A
great
purple
supernatural
Demon Balor
characters,
now.
a purple Demon Balor, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
If they give me that, I'm all for it. And I want to see this group run roughshod over the entire roster. Let's start giving. I love Bianca. Let's put the title on Rhea. Let's give Damian a belt. Let's let Finn take a title. Let's do some shit, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to see Demon Finn Balor defeat, I guess, Roman, since he's got both titles because they decided to do that, and be the champion on Raw. I would love to see that. I would love to see Damian Priest defeat whoever beats Austin Theory, maybe John Cena, and take that US title over on Raw. Let's do some shit. And then we can grab Liv and we can grab Alexa and we can bring them into the group and they could be the women's tag team champions, and then maybe like go demonize the Viking Raiders or something and make them the tag team in there. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Let's get them all fucking sinful. Let's get them all sorts of fucking sinning in this bitch.
In this bitch.
Yeah.
No, I'm about it. I love Finn being in Judgment Day. I'm okay with them kicking him out because they're like, nah, you're done. Bye. Because now I like this idea that people are assuming Finn is the leader, but realistically, any one of them could be the leader, or all three of them could be the leader. And it's just like, it fucking should be Rhea. I agree. But having them all basically be like the same level works, because you don't really see factions or staples like that where
New
not
Day
one person is
probably
above.
the only one I can think of.
I mean, yeah, like recently probably New Day, but everything else, like you have your main guy and then your mid card and then your tag, which I think you and I have talked about that many times. Yeah. Which I think that's why you're making a face at me.
No.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen, but you know what I would absolutely love that would piss everyone off and it would make me so fucking happy. You know how everyone's like, oh, we don't want a supernatural Alexa Bliss. You just want the old Alexa Bliss back. I hate this. I don't like fun. What if she's still supernatural Alexa Bliss and she's the leader of Judgment Day, and she has been, along with Lily, manipulating all of this, and reveals herself to be the Vince McMahon-esque higher power after she teams up with Liv and brings Liv into the group.
Actually, I'm in. I'm sold.
Man, that's so convoluted, overly complex, but I fucking love it. It's so
WWE. It works.
Fantastic. Yeah, fuck that.
Okay. Just to like wrap up the Judgment Day Edge stuff, I think the reason why Edge was kicked out is because Damian Priest has black hair, Rhea dyed her hair black, Finn has black hair, Edge was the only blonde, so I think they just don't want blondes in the faction because it doesn't look as good with the purple lighting. So I think if your Alexa theory comes to pass, she will be brunette Alexa.
I'd love to see a brunette Alexa.
Yes. We saw brunette Mandy Rose and that.
Jeez.
You don't. Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Vince's swallow was Judgment Day, so then it'd be me.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. John Cena is returning. I want what I've heard, which was proposed Seth Rollins versus John Cena. I honestly have no interest in seeing Austin Theory do jack shit. I know everyone's like, oh my God, Austin Theory is like the next John Cena, and we should have them. Like, fuck you guys.
He's not
you guys. He's not. I don't want to see Austin. I've got no interest in seeing two very similar people wrestle each other because they're kind of alike because they're both white and they look like that. Like, no, fuck you guys. Down. Like, I don't want any of that shit.
I'm with you, Matt. Anytime we get John Cena, it's a good thing. He's one of my Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. He's up there with. He's like, so anytime I get John Cena, I'm all the way happy for it. Can I sprinkle in a spit since you mentioned Austin Theory? I want to spit the fact that he's been rocking Captain America gear because he's the United States champion. Captain America is a babyface in the most truest form. He should not be wearing Captain America gear. He should be wearing U.S. Agent or John Walker Captain American gear. That's what he should be wearing. She should not be rocking any Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson inspired Captain America stuff. It should be John Walker, the one Captain America we all hate. Because he
How do you know that his Captain America gear isn't the John Walker Captain America gear?
Did you ask Austin Theory?
I actually have. I DM'd him personally. My people talked to his people, and then they sent me a personal selfie.
Did my people allow your people to DM him and talk to them?
As far as I'm aware,
Since your people work for my people now.
Fuck you. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, but yeah, Spetty and Austin Theory rocking Captain America gear. He should not be rocking Captain America gear.
Jesus.
So you're not for the fact of like John Cena taking the U.S. title off of Theory and bringing back the U.S. Open Challenge?
Why the fuck do we need to see John Cena as U.S. champion again? Why do we need to ever see John Cena hold a title again? Why?
Because
I propose one thing.
Yeah.
Give Cena one run with the IC title and make him a Grand Slam champion. That's all I ask.
That's fine.
He deserves it.
Him and Sheamus both need to run with the IC title. I'm okay with that to be Grand Slam champions. But like, I don't need to see him hold a U.S. title again. I don't need to see him break Ric Flair's record, even though now that Ric Flair's a giant piece of shit who's trying to come back, I'm almost kind of okay with it. Whereas before I was like, can we just not leave one thing intact? Like, you took away the streak. Can we not just like let someone keep something that they've earned and not have to replace it? Now I'm like, well, maybe we're better off with John Cena. I mean, there's the guy that assaults flight attendants or the guy that spends all of his time hanging out with special needs children. Which one do we really want to be the biggest champion in the company's history?
Also, he called Batman a pussy, which I'm all about. Yeah, Peacemaker. He called Batman a pussy.
I thought you were talking about just like Cena is just like in the wild, just
John Cena in the wild. What is he?
If he had called Superman a pussy, I'd be more about it. Katie, what is your next swallow?
Roxanne Perez winning the inaugural NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. She's also known as Roxy. She won the ROH Women's title in that tournament. She's the queen of tournaments at this point.
Nope.
Roxanne was like, if it wasn't gonna be Fakita, it was gonna be Roxanne. Like, that was like where people kind of were with who they thought was gonna win.
Glad we got who we got.
I mean, Roxanne makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because now we have like Toxic Attraction and then Cora, Roxanne, Indy, which I kind of like that Indy's doing something now. Yes. And not just sulking over the loss of her on-screen husband.
He who shall not be named.
I'm so sorry. But she could take this briefcase contract, whatever the fuck it is, and shut up, and use it for the tag titles, which I think they're kind of leaning towards with her friendship with Cora, which I don't know how I feel about that. I like that if it's, you can go after the women's champions, like the same thing that happened with the NXT, the breakout, the Dusty Classic, that's what it's called. Yeah. When Kaylee Ray and Io were like, no, we want the women's title instead. I'm like, that's not how that works, but
I agree and I disagree. Mm-hmm. In this case, it says she can challenge for a championship, which means it doesn't matter in the Dusty tournament, because Melo challenged for the North American title. He did not challenge for the NXT championship.
Yeah.
And he could have challenged for the tag titles with Trick.
And he could have challenged for the tag titles with Trick. They talked about that as well. The tag team Dusty Classic is for a tag team championship title shot. Now, whatever the fuck you want to give them. And if William Regal was still here, that would never have happened. Neither here nor there.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't care. Like, Roxanne, like, they're gonna take the gold off of somebody in Toxic Attraction, whether it's Mandy or Gigi and JC. Roxanne's gonna be holding gold by the end of the year.
So go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say, I think it makes sense to have them do the tag titles because there's no one left in the tag division for Toxic Attraction to beat. They beat everyone. which is one of my spits. Actually, is the fact that Caden and Casey did not win because I thought it was time for them to pull the trigger on them. Also,
I agree.
Justin, after he recorded an episode of the Get Show podcast that I was not invited to, did invite me to a Zoom call where he made me sit down and watch 3 Filipinos eat Filipino food. So that was a whole thing. Caden, my girl Shotzi Blackheart, and Joaquin Wild all hanging out.
I thought you meant Gar, Justin, and Katie were all eating Filipino food.
Is Katie Filipino?
She could be.
Do I look Filipino?
I don't judge
I'm not
people on their ethnicities based on their looks. So for all I know, you might be Mexican, Katie. You do speak fluent Spanish.
See,
there you go. Exactly.
Indeed.
Are we moving on from that, or can I?
No, I'm still going. So
okay, go for it.
I feel like having them go for the tag team titles makes sense, especially with Indy as part of that group, because Roxanne and Cora fit together better as a tag team and feel more like a tag team than Indy would with either of those women. So Indy going against Mandy for the title, which, hey, maybe Indy actually finally gets a fucking title run and does something. Well, I mean, she had the tag titles, but you know what I mean? Like her singles run. Roxanne's young. She's got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
21.
Yeah.
She's very young.
So she's got plenty of fucking time. So let her have a tag team title run. Let them do some fun shit. Put some gold on Cora because they love Cora. You know, Avril Lavigne's still hot. Like, let's do it. So I'm all about that shit.
To add to that, I'm swallowing Roxy getting the win too. I'm actually more on board with Roxy teaming up with Cora and going after those tag titles for the reasons that Matt mentioned. Lack of tag team division to like rival like Toxic Attraction, and they've already been calling themselves Team 2001. They were both born in 2001. They've teamed in the past, so like they already have a semi name there. And I'd rather see Indy go against Mandy Rose instead of Roxy versus Mandy Rose at this point in time, because unless Roxy's going to get the title off of Mandy, which I don't think is going to happen, I'd rather Roxy and Cora team up together, take the titles off of Gigi and JC, and become tag team champions, and then Indy be more of the singles one. I don't want to see them as an actual group, but like more as in like associates, friends like that, like with mutual benefits right now. Like
friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits. There you go. Yeah. Also, in just my personal swallow, is like my NXT core 4, my pillars of the NXT Women's Division, all being involved in the same segment, like program. You have Roxy, Cora Jade, Indy Hartwell, and Gigi Dolan. Those are the 4 women in that whole division that I feel like are going to be like the next names. They're going to be like coming up, kind of like Io and like Asuka and Ember. Like I feel like those.
I hate the pillar discussion because I feel like nobody actually understands what a fucking pillar is.
Okay, well,
Sting was the pillar of WCW. Taker was the pillar of the WWF. If you have 4 pillars, they're people that was there at the start of building something, not people that came in after it had been built. Now, if you wanted to say that these are pillars of NXT 2.0,
yes,
then I could agree to that. I wouldn't include Indy because Indy was still part of Black and Gold. But
true,
far, I would say Mello and Braun Breaker.
Well, I'm talking about the women's division and as a whole. Like, okay, did not mean to get you off on a tangent and get on your own personal rant, but okay, maybe pillar isn't the right word or phrasing, but like they're the 4 members of that division that I'm keeping an eye on, that I feel are going to be the next ones to break out and be big players in the WWE women's division on either NXT 2.0 or main roster within the next year or two. I think those are the core 4 that I'm looking at that are going to break out.
It drives me nuts because everyone's like, oh, these are the pillars of AEW. And then every week it fucking changes and they add someone new and it's someone that wasn't even there when the fucking company started. Like, do you know what a fucking pillar is? Do you understand what a pillar is? Not you specifically, the IWC.
I know.
It's like
I just didn't mean to get you all over again. I just didn't mean to like get you going like that. I should have just excluded the word pillar. But like you guys got what you guys get.
Yeah, no, we're with you. Yeah. Yes, no, we're with you.
Yeah. So, what's next? Who's next? Is it Katie?
Mine was Roxanne.
Okay. So, me?
Yes, you, Vince.
I forgot the order of
It's literally
operations.
Katie, Vince, Matt. Katie, Vince, Matt.
Okay, I'm swallowing the testicular talk on Raw because I love Maurice because it involved Maurice coming back. She looked fan-fucking-tastic. Yes, he who shall not be named showed up, and granted, his presence isn't necessarily welcome by the Smackin It Raw podcast. However, they were talking about Mrs. Balls for a very long time, and I thought that was hilarious. So much so, where the point where Maurice is like, he has average balls, he has above average, he has the hugest balls ever, and then Riddle saying prove it was fucking fantastic because I'm like, yes, if Hangman's not gonna strip down, let it be Miz.
Your obsession with seeing Hangman with nothing underneath chaps is kind of getting disturbing, and I might have to call you a therapist.
No, I'm good with it.
You're worse than Savannah.
It's 2022. No. It's Pride Month. Everyone's a little gay. It's cool. If he wants to see what's hanging, a little
gay.
If he wants to see what's hanging on Hangman, let him. No, Vince, I support you.
His obsession is just increasing day by day, and I'm getting a little worried for Hangman.
Well, I dropped it for I drop it in between like a week or two. Like I always drop it. I never consistently do it. It's just usually when I jump into like the Sheely Showcase, like Twitch chat, is when I usually like bring it up because Savannah's there, and then it irks you. If it didn't irk you so much, I wouldn't keep doing it. But yeah, I'm gonna swallow the fact that they were talking about Mrs. Balls. I thought that was one of the high points of Raw on Monday.
I'm gonna agree with you, but with an amendment. I am going to swallow a Maurice, who is literally one of the finest fucking people to ever step on God's earth. It is just ridiculous that is a real person, and her talking about her husband's balls. However, I am spitting the fact that little bitch kept trying to see Mrs. Balls and kept pulling his pants down and without consent sexually assaulting the Miz on live TV, which is something he may or may not be known for outside of his wrestling career. So, just saying, kind of a trend here with that guy.
He worked himself into a shoot. Okay.
I mean, definitely swallowing Maurice all day, every day, twice on Mondays. Specifically because Ms. and Mrs. comes on right after Raw. So
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just like agreeing to like what Katie was saying. Like, yeah, that's right. She was there to like promote Miss and Mrs.
Yeah. I'm also swallowing the fact that my personal pick for the GOAT of NXT, Mr. Tommaso Ciampa, which you and I have had various arguments about because you and RN were big Johnny Gargano supporters and I was all Team Ciampa, came out and wrecked little bitch. And then just went about his business. He came out and wrecked Riddle and then left. And the fact that Tommaso Ciampa just keeps coming in and fucking people up and then walking away for random reasons is one of my favorite fucking things on Raw.
It's a good time.
I wish I could see Ciampa wrestle and him get a new Goldie or something, but if not, him just randomly coming in and fucking up people for shits and giggles and then leaving is fantastic.
Can we do like an impromptu, really quick power rankings of like which championship you would like to be Ciampa's next Goldie if you had the book? Which gold, like if we can rank the Goldies?
No, not right now.
I'm just trying to be fun. I'm trying to like bring in like new content onto the show.
And if you want to do that, that's absolutely ahead of time where we can plan it. And I'm not sitting here trying to think about it with dead air and shit. Sounds great. But in the middle of a show when we've still got spits and swallows to get through, we have no idea how long this is going to run. I'm going to say no. But next week, we can schedule it for next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week. If we have time next week, we'll do it.
All right.
I feel like that's a fair compromise.
Are we good on Maurice and Mrs. Balls? Does anyone want to swallow, gargle, or spit Mrs. Balls any more than we already have? No? Okay.
I don't think that's that huge.
My next swallow is Zeke, only because he said he was Zeked up. And that means he started to see spaceships on Bankhead, and I'm a huge fan of being Zeked up. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Zeke getting Zeked up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna swallow that too because I'm gonna swallow Zeke because he lied and he stole. Like, shout out to Eddie Guerrero. Shout out. I love people embodying that energy. So yeah, swallowing that.
And none of that I cared about. Just the fact that he said he was zeked up. And he's starting to see spaceships on Bankhead. Anyway.
Okay.
Katie, what is your next swallow?
The return of Wheeler Yuta on AEW. Love Wheeler Yuta. He's the core of the Blackpool Combat Club. He's the reason they didn't win Anarchy in the Arena. He could have won the Battle Royal to face Mox, which would have been a hell of a match because, they're both a part of the same club and whatever. And I got into an argument with Savannah about, well, what happens? Aren't they kicked out if they lose? I was like, well, it doesn't really make sense because they're in the same club, so it really won't matter. But regardless, Wheeler Yuta came back. He's fantastic. He didn't win Best of Super Dupers, so that is why he's back.
No, her Mumu did.
Yeah, her Mumu did. Damn it. But
it's
now,
funny because I know exactly what the fuck Matt talks about.
I do
when he
too.
does this shit.
I do too.
Oh, just wait.
Oh, fuck. But like I was saying, now he'll probably be in the Blood and Guts match, so that just elevates it a little more. And we love Pretty Kyle, so
yeah,
we do love Pretty Kyle.
Hell of a wrestler.
He showed a lot of thigh and candlestick the last time he was on the show.
Disgusting.
Vince.
I only have 2 more swallows for the week. I'm gonna swallow the fact that I only hear FedEx now when I hear commentary on AEW, because every time they say Phoenix, because they say Phoenix, but I hear FedEx now, and so that's a thing now. So I now hear FedEx every time Rey Phoenix shows up. So I'm swallowing that. I was just watching the show, and I actually just popped, just like, did he just say FedEx? And I kept hearing FedEx throughout the show. So
I hear it every once in a while too.
Yeah. So I'm swallowing that.
The funny thing is, I try to say FedEx and I catch myself, but most of the times I say FedEx and it just sounds like FedEx. And then I fix it. My swallow, and this might surprise you, they're actually fucking winning me over. Chase U celebrating with Thea Hale, who graduated high school and got accepted to Chase University. Pretty Deadly coming in and then getting put on their ass by Bo Dallas, or Blonde Bo Dallas, even though Blonde Bo did get his ass kicked later in the night by Pretty Deadly. Dude, I don't know why, but Andre Chase is winning me over, and I hate it.
Yep.
I hate it, but
Feel that.
He has that Drew Gulak effect where, when he was starting to do the PowerPoint stuff, it was kind of annoying or cheesy, but he was so good at them that you couldn't help but to just like him. And I feel like he just has a very likable, infectious attitude. And the fact that he's actually successfully getting people to go to Chase University, he's actually getting scholarships. He's having alumni, and it's a whole thing. He's actually properly recruiting people, unlike Edge.
And this man went out there in a handicap match because Blonde Bo Dallas was fucked up. Now, here's my spit. He didn't tag in the high schooler, and that's why he lost. She was there, and I know all Katie wanted to see was some man-on-woman hardcore intergender action, and she didn't get it. I was excited for you. I was like, we're finally going to see a woman get in the ring and whoop these gender-neutral British pretty boys. I thought it was coming, and we didn't get it. So,
dude, so did I. She was standing on the apron in the corner. Also, shout out to Hale. She's from Pittsburgh. She graduated from Plum, which is 20 minutes from me. Big shout out to her. I wanted it so goddamn bad. I was like, oh my god, is he gonna tag her in? I got so excited, and then I got shut down, so I was very disappointed. But I agree. Chase U, ever since they started doing the stuff with Saray and they came out for the entrance and they were all of them were switched. Chase U started.
Hey, what happened to Saray? Is Saray still part of Chase U? Or was she never? Or she never officially part of Chase U? I think she should be a foreign exchange student of Chase U.
No more foreign exchange students. We talked about that the other day.
Last night. Get you.
Whenever. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys got anything else about Chase U? All right. So Vince is down to Dynamite. Katie, are your swallows all also up to Dynamite?
Yeah, I already said
Okay.
Wheeler Yuta, so.
So I'm going to adjust this a little bit so I can get caught up so we can all stay kind of on the same subject. I've got two more swallows from NXT that I want to talk about. One, Joe Wayne Gacy letting us know that the Dyad, formerly known as the Red Velvet Cakes, will be making a debut because I am actually very curious to see who these guys are because there's no way they can wrestle in their red velvet hoods. So the fact that they're actually debuting, I'm swallowing. I am, however, going to spit the fact that he lost to Braun Breaker because the ascension of the cult should have happened, and it's sad. And then the other one is, and this is just a real quick one, Alba Fire defeating Tatum Paxley with a swanton bomb that is prettier than anything Jeff Hardy has ever done in his life. Shout out to Alba Fire for outdoing Jeff with his own fucking finisher. And last jumping her after the match and us getting a women's feud that isn't about a title. Because
NXT 2.0 is doing a really good job of like rebuilding their women's division. They're doing a really good job.
I agree. You guys have anything to add about the Dyad, Joe Wayne Gacy, or Alba Fire and her much better than Jeff Hardy swanton bomb?
I am intrigued to see who the Red Velvet Cakes are going to be revealed to be. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be people from the PC that I just don't fucking know. So just like Deuce and Domino with Tony D'Angelo, you know, like I knew who the fuck they were.
All right. Katie, what's your next swallow?
Pac and Penta.
Pac and Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews.
Well, Penta was there too. Like all of them.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
the entirety of Death Triangle and the match.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because why not? No, the match was fantastic. Like
yeah, I'm with you.
I thought you were gonna be like, no.
No, I'm with you.
I'm like here and say that. And I like that it wasn't just randomly put together, like there was a reason for this match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides the fact that they're all fucking feuding, but there was more stakes to it than just a one-off because it's for the All Atlantic Championship at Forbidden Door. All Atlantic. All Atlantic. Why do you keep saying it? Why do you keep repeating it after I repeat it?
Because he's saying dick. He's emphasizing dick.
I can't hear him saying that. So
I'm very used to Vince's accent.
I have an accent?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think I just choose to tune Vince out sometimes. So
there has been a lot of talk this week.
Is it a Chicago accent or is it a Mexican accent? Or is it a
it's
Vince accent?
kind of a hybrid, like the Chicago accent fucked the Mexican accent and had a baby.
Sounds about right.
And we call it a Vince accent.
Okay.
There's been a lot of discussion about the All Atlantic title, whether AEW has too many championships. I, however, don't look at the Ring of Honor championships as AEW championships. Ring of Honor is still its own thing. Yeah. So I don't consider that until they figure out what they're doing with Ring of Honor. I don't consider them part of it. So really, honestly, all this is, in my mind, is creating an intercontinental title. They had a mid-card title, but let's be honest, in WCW, the TV title was the secondary mid-card title. In WWE, you had the IC and then the European. I look at the TBS and TNT championships, less so the TBS because it is a women's mid-card title, which we never fucking get. So as something that should exclusively stay off pay-per-views and be defended every week on TV on their respective channels. So this is allowing those other people, those higher mid-card guys like Miro, like Pac, who are not quite up to the AEW championship, but maybe a little above the TNT title to have something to fight for. So I think the belt looks fucking awesome. The match, the opening match for this Pac versus Buddy Murphy, they fucking tore it down. I am excited for the matchups going forward. We've got some great shit lined up. And I mean, sorry, Japan, and Australia and everything that's not in the Atlantic, you guys are not included in this because it is only the countries that touch the Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, I'm good with it. Like, I think the title looks great. I'm excited about the tournament. The match kicked ass. Swallows all around.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. That's actually my last swallow of the week is Pac versus Buddy Matthews, because I thought the match was fantastic. I missed the second half of Dynamite, and I missed the second half of SmackDown, so that's why. Nothing on the first hour of SmackDown I'm swallowing, so spoiler there. I do like the design of the All Atlantic championship. I think it's fantastic. I think the fact that they're doing a tournament like a play-in type like tournament to go into the Fatal 4-Way match at Forbidden Door is a good way to go about it. The fact that we got matchups with reason, there was actually a reason, like you guys alluded to already. But I am gonna spit the fact that I do think AEW is gonna border on the line of having too many titles, especially if they do introduce at some point a trios title, which I think they should.
I mean, their roster is big enough, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like you were running into a WWE problem or an NXT problem, because I think at one point NXT had just way too many titles. I mean, I don't personally fucking care, honestly. I do feel like it's too many titles. I think at one point they might actually just drop the TNT title altogether and just replace it with the All Atlantic title.
And that's a great backup plan to have in case their TV deal with TNT doesn't go through and it's not renewed.
It's a better name than naming your titles after the networks that your television shows are on. What are they going to do? The YouTube Championship next, or
why not?
The Being the Elite Championship? Like,
there is that.
That doesn't count, and neither does the FTW title. They're not real belts.
I'm just.
They're real belts, but they're not actual championships.
No, they're not real championships. They're not sanctioned.
But they're belts. But they're real belts. Like, they can actually.
They don't hold pants up. They're not real belts. Ask Vince McMahon. He will tell you they're not belts. They're championships.
I suppose.
Also, Julia Hart looking like she walked fresh off a Cruel Intentions remake set. Loved that. That was great.
It's true. She really did.
Okay. So you're out of swallows. You're done swallowing.
I am actually out of swallows, and on that note, I'm gonna use that to go take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, we're just gonna keep swallowing. We're just gonna keep swallowing without you. We'll spitball back and forth, and then come back whenever you want.
Yeah. I'll be back.
My next swallow, the debut in AEW of Will Oceanspray and his friends from the tennis court and/or golf court, Aussie Open, and then some other random dude coming in, beating up FTR and Trent, because Trent deserves to get his ass beat for this bullshit that he is pulling. It annoys the shit out of me that he thinks he can be in two tag teams in the same company. It's not right. It's not fair. And I actually sort of like almost feel bad for Chuck Taylor a little bit. I would not be showing up either if my best friend just decided, hey, Rocky Romero's here, so fuck you, and just went and formed a whole new tag team and left me behind. Like, slight sympathy for him. Like, I still don't like him, fuck that guy, but like a little bit of sympathy for him. But yeah, no, Will Oceanspray debuting, and yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can also, I'm also swallowing that, and the match that we got on Rampage with all of them.
Yeah, I'm not swallowing that.
It was a good match.
I'm literally not swallowing anything for Rampage, but
that's
you
my
can.
Only
Like,
swallow.
cool.
That's my only swallow for Rampage is that match, because I was curious to see, like, because FTR is fantastic, Trent's great. I was curious to see what the other two look like in the ring, because I don't watch Japan, New Japan, whatever.
Japanimation, yeah, we got you.
Japanimation, yeah, I don't watch that, so I was curious, but I like the match. It was fun.
Right.
Yeah. Is it my turn now, right?
Well, yeah, there's no more Vince. So it's just you and me. We're gonna like it's an Aussie Open. We're gonna bat this back and forth like a tennis ball.
Yeah, because Vince needs to hurry up because I have to go soon because this has gone longer than I expected. Gunther, new IC champion, caved in Ricochet's chest, like we all said. Big swallow. Okay,
yeah, that same here. And also the fact that Gunther listen, Ricochet, and the fact that he is got to sit in the back and watch Shanky play a male stripper for his girlfriend, and then Gunther comes out, beats this man in front of Ricochet's girlfriend, takes his title, and then made her announce him as the new champion. because it's
Damn.
her job. Like,
Some gangster shit.
dude, could you imagine whooping a dude's ass and then having his girlfriend tell everyone that you whooped his ass?
Nah. That just proves Ricochet can't fight.
I'm gonna swallow Hangman defeating Fit Finley Jr. and the fact that Hangman won, and after the match challenges the IC. Actually, you know what? I have to apologize to everyone real quick because I realized that I may have been mispronouncing the ICUP Global Hungry Man Champion actual name, and it is very rude of me. So I apologize for that. Allow me to correct myself. Saying Hiroshima could be slightly offensive, and I shouldn't be doing that. So allow me to say his name correctly. The ICUP Global Hungry Man Champion, Katsukuchi Uganda, was challenged by Hangman Page, and Katsukuchi Uganda also kind of got challenged by Adam Cole. So possible triple threat for Katsukuchi Uganda's championship between broken Adam Cole and on the mend Hangman Adam Page, who lost his title and had some things to say about it but didn't say it. So big swallow there.
You're terrible.
What?
Oh, no.
Do you know how long it took me to figure out a name for him? Because I could not think of anything for that.
I'm
And
very
when
proud
it
of
hit
you,
me,
though.
it hit me.
Can you
I'm
say
very
it
proud of
again?
him. No.
Katsukuchi Uganda.
Katsukuchi Uganda.
Uganda.
Uganda. Okay.
The
Yeah.
the ICUP Global Hungry Man Champion.
It's taking a life onto its own at this point.
It's so funny. But yeah, I'm also swallowing that. Even though Cole's injured, so it's probably just gonna be Hangman versus Uganda. So, which I'm fine with.
Oh, I forgot Cole was injured.
Yeah, he's like a lumbar issue or something. I don't know. I kept seeing stuff about it.
All your swallows are for SmackDown now, Katie?
Yeah, I literally just have one more swallow.
All right, so I got Wardlow going for a mid-card title first. I think that's a smart
Yes.
move. That's a big swallow for me. Him saying he wanted to wait for Punk to come back and beat the real champion. That's a big swallow. And then I didn't realize that Duracell had their own wrestling promotion, but that's fucking dope.
What?
Yeah, AAA.
Oh my god.
Big swallow there as well. Duracell's wrestling promotion AAA and them, being involved in shit and doing shit. So those are all my swallows for Dynamite. What do you got for SmackDown? What's your last swallow?
My last one, Xia Li, was on my TV. I'm spitting the fact that Lacey Evans won, and I knew she was gonna fucking win. I'm still mad about it.
I'm also spitting that.
Xia Li was on TV. That's my protector forever and always.
So along those lines, we have Lacey Evans defeating Xia Li to qualify for the Money in the Bank. And I am spitting Lacey winning. I'm spitting the fact that they brought her back as a baby face and then they put her in a not mesh one piece bathing suit. Because what the fuck? At least give me something to enjoy, but they didn't. And I'm spitting Xia Li losing. So, and them calling her SmackDown's newest superstar. You literally put her on Raw for a fucking week, and there are no brand splits. So, you can't put her on SmackDown for 5 weeks, put her on Raw for a week, bring her back to SmackDown, and call her SmackDown's newest superstar. Get the fuck out of here. Commentary was on some shit tonight.
Well, that was also the announcer at Gorilla. She was almost SmackDown's newest superstar.
Yeah, Ricochet's girlfriend.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Ricochet. It was some blonde woman.
One of those random backstage blondes that interviewed
her
her.
name's Megan.
Robot interview bot number 3.
All I've got for swallows for Smack, because you're out of swallows, right, Vince?
I'm out of swallows. I got one more thing on my spitter swallows list. And it's just one simple one.
Well, hold on, because we got spits. So Drew and Sheamus beating the shit out of each other, even though it ended in a double DQ. Anytime Drew and Sheamus get together and beat the shit out of each other, I'm down. The fact that Shotzi got TV time tonight, and actually a shit ton of offense on Ronda Rousey.
True.
Love seeing Shotzi, more of Shotzi, and the fact that they actually look like they're kind of using her and doing shit with her is a big swallow for me.
Right.
As well, even though it's a spit that Ronda beat her, but we all saw that coming. All right, Katie, I know you have to go, so real quick, let me knock out this last thing. I'm going to do a spit first, just so you hear it and you don't miss it. I'm going to spit Moxley in general. He is not working for me. Wild Thing is not working for me. He doesn't really feel like he's part of the BCC because he's still hanging out with Kingston. I don't know. This whole thing with Moxley is not working for me. However, we do know that Moxley won and is going on to face the winner of Hiroyoshi Tamagashi.
There we go.
Yes, because I was wrong. I was mispronouncing Tamagotchi's name. And that's where it was offensive. So I've now changed it to Hiroyoshi Tamagashi instead of Hiroshima Tamagachi. So Hiroyoshi Tamagachi will be taking on Herky Jerky Gato. It should be the Great Okan, but Herky Jerky Gato, and the winner of that will be the interim champion at Dominion, who will then face John Moxley at Forbidden Door for that Forbidden Championship. So, yes, spitting Mox, spitting the entire battle royal, Andrade being the Joker and then losing, Kyle O'Reilly winning it, spitting all of that, and then Hiroyoshi Tamagachi versus Herky Jerky Gato.
That's actually part of my final spit. Is I'm spitting the fact that Max Caster was not in the final four and did not win the battle royal. That's who should have been our interim champion. Is Max Caster. Max Caster is the best wrestler in all of AEW right now. He should be champion.
Stop.
He's out here. They're out here.
Hey Vince.
Chanting
Pause.
Yes.
Katie, go ahead and plug your stuff so we can let you go.
Thank
you. Then I'll let Vince finish because I still have some spits.
Yeah. This is like the only time I really have to like leave, which is leave early. It's weird. But you can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrestling13. Link to I'm about to take out. Thank you, She Elite Showcase. Twitch.tv/She Elite Showcase. Typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, except this week because while I'm leaving, I'm going to the beach for a week. So there'll be a show Saturday, June 18th. I don't know what time yet. YouTube videos up there. I always say watch the videos, way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, if you want to listen. Matt brought up the Pro Wrestling Pro Choice. That merch is up in my link tree, SheLeadShowcase.com, if you want to just search for it. She Lead Showcase weekly recap we do. New one's out. Check it out. Inside the Mind of will return once I come back, probably from Vegas, since that's in 3 weeks. In the Crowd will also return in 3 weeks after I'm back from Vegas. But that's all I got. I'm going to win Porno Poppy, so.
We appreciate you coming on, Katie. Thank you. Have fun at the beach.
Nice.
Can't wait to see how sunburned you get because you burn.
It's still there.
Yeah,
so
I brown, you burn.
I burn, then brown. So it works.
And Vince is just brown.
Don't worry. I'll still be on the show next week in some capacity. Don't worry.
Yes,
All
Vince?
Right. No, nothing. I just you're really heading the Mexican stereotype jokes right now.
Okay, bye.
Under a Pornhub Poppy. But yeah, Max Caster, Matt, I think has transcended the entire AEW roster. And for me, he is the reason to tune in to Wednesday nights or Friday nights or Monday nights when he's on Dark. But the whole Scissor Me Daddy with I'm forgetting Anthony Bowens, Scissor Me Daddy, him getting the whole crowd to chant ass boys. Fuck, they're just so over for me, man. They're just so over for me. I think I'm swallowing Max Caster being on my TV, but I'm spitting the fact that he didn't have more of a run in the Battle Royal.
I'm definitely spitting that whole Battle Royal, Kyle versus fucking Mox.
Fucking trash, man.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of that. I'm also spitting Thunder Rosa versus Marina Shafir. Tony came out and teased maybe something with Thunder Rosa, so as far as match wise, that might be good. But their booking of Thunder Rosa has been shit. I did like this is not where I would put Marina Shafir on the card. I don't care if she's a
No.
known name or not. Like, no, this was not good. Also, this whole like as much as I enjoy Wardlow going in and doing, the whole mid card title thing for the TNT championship, the fact that he's going to be in a 20-person security guard battle royal next week, 1-on-20.
That's
I hate
dumb.
that. I hate that idea. This whole thing with
dumb.
Sterling and him being sued, like trash.
Yeah.
We didn't get to ask Katie, so I guess it's between you and I. Vince, what was your favorite show this week?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna say NXT. I'm gonna say NXT. That had a little bit more of a like consistently throughout the entire show. I think that had more swallows and spits.
Oh, I know what I'm spitting. I'm spitting fucking Matt Riddle winning a championship match against Roman Reigns. Because if WWE had done the right thing, if they'd done the smart thing, Sami Zayn would have won because A, he deserves it and he works hard. And B, we never want to see Matt Riddle on SmackDown again. No one should ever want to see Matt Riddle on SmackDown again. The little bitch won, and now I have to sit through that. At least my tribal chief will smash him. I swear to God, do not put the belt on that bitch. Please do not put the belt on that. Do not do it.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, it doesn't seem like Roman's going to be at Money in the Bank, so it's going to be at a random episode of SmackDown. If
it's next week on SmackDown, so please, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe they just get it out of the way within the week.
You know what I really want? I really want Roman to just be like, I'm not defending this title against him and not show up.
That'd be funny.
That'd be fantastic because he didn't agree with that shit.
I kind of want Roman to smash him and then pin him like Rhea pins the women, and I think that's what I'd like to see.
I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go NXT as well for best show of the week.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't SmackDown because fuck SmackDown. Yeah, no, I'm gonna probably go NXT.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I skipped through a lot of like stuff from like Raw. There was some good on Raw, but I think like NXT was the one show consistently that I enjoyed from start to finish. So yeah, NXT gets my vote. So
we got a lot of good feedback on the show last week. We'll see how this goes. It's still kind of work in progress. We're gonna figure it out. I think I do want to kind of stick to making sure that we get everything done for one show so we're all on the same show. Other than that, any thoughts, criticisms about the new format?
I watched last week's episode. I thought the format was really good, even considering that you did it like a few hours beforehand, and we had more of time to prep and get our spits and swallows written down. Honestly, that's how I've been like tackling the show like the last few months. Is I write down my spits and swallows either on my note app or on a piece of paper while I'm at work and watching the shows, and then while you're going through the recaps, I separate them by show. So while we're talking about Raw, I can talk about, I'm swallowing X, Y, and Z. So I've already been doing that. I think it's good because it gets more of a banter, more of a discussion going, and I think it helps with the pacing of the show too.
Yeah, we're gonna be under 2 hours, which is nice.
Yeah, fantastic.
Vince, why don't you tell them? Well, Straight Talk's on a hiatus.
It is.
Just tell them about yourself.
Me, myself, and I. Okay. Well, you can find me on all social media platforms at SES Vince. The link tree in both my Instagram and Twitter bio will take you to everything Straight Talk, Creation World, Spit or Swallow whenever I bring that back as well. And yeah, so just go ahead and just follow me there. And also check out the latest episode of Get Show Podcast. Shout out to Justin for bringing me on last minute. I had no idea I was going to record Get Show. I just thought we were going to be on a Zoom call. So check out the latest episode. I think it's called Interim Get Show. So check out that episode.
You got any thoughts on a title or a thumbnail?
We can talk about it after the show.
I was thinking new format. Who dis?
I like that.
At least for the title. And then you can pick whatever you want for thumbnail. That's how we do it. If one of us comes up with the title, the other gets to pick the thumbnail. If one of us comes up with the thumbnail, the other gets to pick the title. So unless you're not here, and then I get to pick both.
I think it should be Will Ospreay with like a poop emoji over his face.
Whatever you want to do.
fuck Will Ospreay.
Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray.
Yes, you might have been pooping when we had that discussion. So it's Will Ocean Spray. It is Katsukuchi Uganda.
Katsukuchi Uganda. Okay.
Herbumu take some kashi. Herbumu take some kashi. Then we had Hariyoshi Tamagotchi.
What about Tetsuya Naito?
That's Titty Nato. That hasn't changed.
Titty.
And then we had Herky Jerky Gato. Herky Jerky Gato.
Kota Ibushi?
I believe that was Dakota's Bushy.
Dakota's Bushy. Yes, that was Dakota's Bushy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And then you made a joke
Itchy.
saying that, yeah, Itchy.
We got Itchy in the Scratchy Show. Yeah. So.
All right.
You guys can follow me at Matt Ritter, ZMETTRIDDR on Twitter only. Twitter and Instagram, Smackin It Raw Pod. I run the Twitter. Vince runs the Instagram and probably hasn't done jack shit with it in a very long time.
You should follow and check it out and find out.
Also, Creation World is a banner on which the Smackin It Raw Pod exists. You guys can find them at creationworld.com. On Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World, Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World, THECREATIA World. We also have Facebook for this group, which is facebook.com/group/Smackin It Raw. There's a new episode up available for the masses of Return to Wrestling that you guys can go check out, where we cover World War III. And then if you are a Patreon subscriber, Starcade is available, where Travis and I cover Starcade. So World War III 1996 is available for everyone on YouTube and audio, and Starcade 1996 is available for the Patreon viewers. And that will be up next month when we record Uncensored 97. So go check all of that out. Please go check out Katie. She's got her awesome video that's doing great numbers on YouTube right now of Savannah reacting to the MJF promo.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Vince?
No. Vote Vince for Pornhub Poppy.
There is no vote, but yeah, sure, okay. I am so sick of these fucking local campaign commercials for like the Richard Irving
shit.
Dude,
oh my gosh,
it's so much,
so fucking dumb. Like I hate it because it's on my YouTube shit too. It's like,
you know what's hilarious though? There is one specific commercial where they talk about Richard Irving and they talk about how he called Trump a bigoted, racist piece of shit or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be like a smear campaign. I'm like, that actually kind of makes me like the guy. Like, you're doing the opposite of your goal. So,
yeah, honestly, a lot of the smear campaigns for Richard Irving have made me actually like the guy more.
And then the campaigns that he puts out are like, your all lives matter. Yeah, you fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, for Daddy Delgado, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow.
Pornhub Poppy.
Not quite the Pornhub Poppy yet. SES.
Well, Katie's not here on Pornhub Poppy.
I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter. This has been the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
There you go.